Have you ever found yourself daydreaming about financial freedom, only to be jolted back to the reality of your 9-to-5 job? What if I told you that escaping this cycle is not just a dream, but a real possibility? Today, we're going to explore the hidden traps that keep many middle-class individuals anchored in the rat race and unveil practical strategies to break free. Debt dependence is a common problem where people find themselves regularly borrowing money, and it can be tough to break this habit. It often starts small, like using a credit card for shopping or taking a loan for an emergency. But over time, this borrowing can grow, and people might find themselves in a cycle where they are always paying off debt, with little money left for savings or other needs. This cycle is not just about the money, it can also cause stress and worry. People might feel like they are working just to pay off their debts, which can be frustrating and disheartening. To get out of this cycle, the first step is to really understand how much you owe and to whom. Then, it's important to plan how to pay back this money. Making a budget is a key part of this plan. When you know how much money you make and where it all goes, you can find areas where you can spend less. This saved money can then go towards paying off debts, especially those with high interest rates. It's also important to change the way you think about money. Instead of borrowing for things that aren't essential, try to save up for emergencies and think about investing in things that will be valuable in the long run. Getting out of debt is not just about paying back what you owe, but also about making smarter financial choices for the future. Ignoring spending is when people don't keep track of how much money they spend. This can lead to spending too much without realizing it, especially on things that aren't really needed or on impulse buys. When you don't watch your spending, it's easy to end up not saving enough money and even getting into debt. This happens because people might not want to face their spending habits or might not know how to keep track of their money. It's like trying to find your way without a map. You might end up lost or in a tight spot, especially if a surprise expense comes up. To fix this, it's important to start keeping an eye on every dollar you spend. You can do this in different ways, like using an app that helps with budgeting, writing down your purchases, or using a spreadsheet. The important thing is to do this regularly and honestly, writing down everything you buy. After a while, you'll start to see patterns in how you spend your money. This will show you where you can cut back. Paying attention to your spending helps you make better choices with your money, like deciding what's really important to buy and what you can skip. This way, you can avoid the trouble that comes from not knowing where your money goes. The balance between liabilities and assets is really important in managing your money. Liabilities are things you owe, like loans or credit card debt. These take money away from you. Assets, on the other hand, are things you own that can make you money, like savings, stocks, or a house. A lot of people end up having more liabilities than assets. This means they spend a lot of their money paying off debts, which leaves them with less to invest in things that could make them more money in the future. For example, if you're always paying off your car loan or credit card bills, you might not have much left to put into a savings account or buy property. To improve your financial health, try to increase your assets and keep your liabilities under control. This means being careful about getting into more debt and making smart choices about the debts you already have. Some debts, like a home loan, can be good because they're for something that could increase in value. But debts for things you don't really need, especially if they have high interest, can be bad. Focus on saving money, investing in things like stocks or real estate, or even spending on your education to earn more in the future. As you build up your assets and reduce your debts, you'll be in a stronger financial position with your money working for you. The illusion of wealth is when people try to look rich by buying expensive things, but they aren't actually financially secure. This happens a lot because people feel pressured to show off their wealth with fancy clothes, luxury cars, or the latest tech gadgets. But spending a lot on these things doesn't help you get rich. It just looks like it. It's a problem because the money spent on these flashy items could have been saved or invested in things that grow in value over time. So, while trying to appear wealthy, people might be hurting their chances of building real, lasting wealth. To get past this illusion, it's important to focus on what makes you financially healthy, not just what looks good to others. This means living in a way that fits your actual budget and investing in things that can make you money in the long run, like education or stocks. Instead of buying expensive things for show, putting money into savings or retirement plans is smarter. This way, you build real wealth that can give you a comfortable and secure life, not just for now, but for the future too. True wealth isn't about what others see. It's about having enough money to live your life happily and without money worries. Savings versus income growth is about balancing how much money you save with efforts to earn more money. A lot of people focus mainly on saving. They try to cut down on their spending and put a bit of their current income into a savings account. Saving is really important because it gives you a safety net for emergencies, but it has its limits. The money in your savings account usually doesn't grow much on its own because the interest from the bank is often very low. It's like trying to fill a big pool with water using only a small bucket. It's safe but slow and doesn't get you very far if you have big financial goals. Income growth, on the other hand, is about finding ways to earn more money. This could be getting a better paying job, learning new skills to get a promotion, starting a side business, or investing in things that can earn you money, like stocks or property. When you earn more, you have more money to not only save but also invest in opportunities that might bring you even more income. It's like using a bigger bucket to fill the pool faster. Balancing your savings with efforts to grow your income is a smarter financial strategy. It helps you keep stable with your savings, but also helps you increase your wealth by making more money and investing it wisely. Choosing the wrong partner financially means being in a relationship with someone whose money habits are very different from yours, which can cause big problems. For example, if you like to save money but your partner loves to spend, this can lead to a lot of arguments and stress about money. It gets even tougher if one partner's spending habits lead to a lot of debt, which can put pressure on both the relationship and your joint bank account. These differences can make it hard to plan for big things in the future, like buying a house or saving for retirement. When both partners aren't on the same page about money, it can really mess up their plans and financial security. To avoid these issues, it's really important to talk openly about money when you're in a relationship. This means discussing how each of you likes to spend and save money, your views on debt, and what your financial goals are. It's key to understand and respect each other's views on money and try to work together towards common goals. If you don't agree on everything, try to find a middle ground and set some rules that you both can agree on, like how much to spend each month or how to pay off debts. Good communication about money can not only help keep your finances healthy, but also make your relationship stronger. Overspending on housing happens when people spend too much of their money on where they live, whether it's through high rent or a big mortgage. This is called being house poor, and it means that after paying for your home, there's not much money left for other things like bills, savings, or fun activities. Sometimes people fall into this trap because they want their dream home and end up choosing a place that's more expensive than what they can really afford. This can make things tough because it doesn't leave much money for important stuff like saving for emergencies or the future, and the extra costs of a bigger house like higher taxes or upkeep can make it even harder. To avoid spending too much on housing, it's important to set a budget and stick to it. A good rule is to make sure your housing costs, like rent or mortgage payments, are no more than 30% of your total income. This way, you have enough money for other important things. When thinking about buying a house, remember to consider all the extra costs, not just the mortgage. For those who aren't ready to buy, renting can be a good option, as it might be cheaper and more flexible. Making a smart choice about how much to spend on housing can help you stay financially stable and enjoy your home without worrying too much about money. Delaying debt repayment means putting off paying back money you owe, like credit card bills or loans. This can be tempting, especially if you want to spend your money on other things or think you can handle the debt later. However, this is risky because debts, especially those with high interest like credit cards, grow bigger over time. The longer you wait to pay them off, the more interest you have to pay, and what was once a small amount can turn into a big debt. This can make it much harder to get out of debt later on and can also hurt your credit score, which can make it difficult to get loans in the future. Plus, having debt hanging over your head can be really stressful. To avoid these problems, it's a good idea to focus on paying off your debts as soon as you can, starting with the ones that have the highest interest. Making a plan can help. List all your debts, know how much interest each one has, and start paying off the ones with the highest interest first. Some people also combine their debts into one loan with a lower interest rate, which can make it easier to manage and pay off. Dealing with your debts quickly not only saves you money on interest, but also reduces stress and sets you up for a more secure financial future. To sum it up, getting out of money troubles isn't about working harder. It's about making smart choices and not getting stuck in bad financial habits. If you use these tips, you'll be on the right track to having more financial control and freedom. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.